Hold on. Before we even get started, just want to play this.
What? Yeah.
Hey! I'm the only one?
Hey, nah.
Hey!
She told you. CBC. Mama.
Are we taking shots, As soon as the music go off.
Hey.
And I'm ready to take this shot, Jason. Take it.
You gotta pop out and show niggas.
All right, look.
That part.
Shout out, y'all. Cheers.
That's
West Coast winning.
Yeah.
I love y'all. Another episode. ABE After Dark. Cheers.
After dark.
Let's get it going.
Man, first of all, how has everyone been? Y'all good?
Great.
Lively.
Feeling great.
Life is life. Better than Drake.
How are you?
Ooh, he came in hot.
Hey, man.
No pause.
I mean, first of all, who thinks he won? Just by show of hands. Who thinks Drake's won the battle so far?
I didn't even hear it.
Lynden, raise your hand, man. You know you think.
I didn't even hear it.
But I think Kendrick got the best record, though.
That's how you win.
Well, I don't know, like that record we was just playing, that's a hot record.
Duh.
Yeah, obviously, right?
Five.
But
FY.
But I don't know, I can't take it as a diss record. I'm ready to groove when I hear it. I'm like,
But the words are
Because you're not listening, man.
but
You know
You're
what?
not listening.
I just think Drake said some funny things, man.
Once again, bro.
But I don't
And
think
you
he
don't
bodied
think
I
it.
said it
we on
once
the
and
wrong-
I'm going to say it
I told him
again.
you're going to be on the wrong side of this.
I said it once, I'm going to say it again. Look, get your eggs and toast out because the Canadian bacon is cooked. All right, you hear me?
All right. Yes.
But I do think it was a pretty even battle. I think y'all be acting like it was like a slaughter. Like, it's not an act, it's a fact.
Yeah, it is a fact.
I mean, he's a pop artist too,
Preach.
you know. He hold his.
Oh, now you want to be a pop
Oh, come on, bro.
See?
I mean, he is.
I think the topic is rap.
yeah,
I think-
exactly.
Well,
it was a rap battle,
I
not
think
a
he's
pop
good for
battle.
rap. I mean, think about it though, man. He's probably good for the culture on some levels. We need somebody to be able to, you know, show that we are diverse. We can sing, we can rap. It don't always just got to be rap only. He do all kind of music.
But when it comes to a rap battle, all you
that
need is
is
rap.
true. Exactly.
And it'd been okay if he could have owned the fact that he don't write his lyrics.
Right.
That part.
Who he say he is. He could have
Exactly.
owned
Yeah, that's
that
the-
was
the hubris that killed him. It was the
You know what I'm
hubris.
saying? He could
And
have
his
like,
arrogance.
I employ a bunch of people to make the Drake industry go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people have been like,
Yeah, he should have did it like how Puffy said, you know, don't worry if I write rhymes.
I write
All
checks.
right,
check.
check.
Yep.
Just own it and keep it
Yeah.
pushing. You
Right.
know what I mean?
No, but he still wanted to be hard. See what
But I
happened.
do think the hot song out of all of those disses is that song. That song is hot.
To me, it only gets confusing because it's Drake, and I'm sorry. I think he's a great artist, but I think it's a lot of people trying to protect him now that his image is being tarnished
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like,
all that's a money
he's
play,
such
y'all.
a cash
Oh
cow.
yeah, he's cash cow.
And
He
he
was a
represents so
golden boy.
much money.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like now we got all these excuses. Now rap is mean and he's getting bullied and,
He's
and
not
now
getting
you
bullied.
hear undertones of like we need to stop treating each other like this publicly and all of these deeper issues. But I think it's only because he's getting the bad part of it. You know, if he was on top like when he was dissing Meek Mills,
Right,
none of
right,
these issues came up.
right.
It
Now
was
he's
like,
getting-
he killed this man.
Yeah.
G's making a good
Destroyed
He's
point.
got bigger issues right now in his hand.
And if it was reversed, if Drake would have came out with Not Like Us, everybody would have been in the
everybody-
streets.
Man,
dancing,
man, the whole
enjoying
world
it.
would have been.
Come on now.
Right.
Yes.
But
Right.
because he's on the other side, he didn't have that hit. They want to be sour pussies. You know what I mean? It's okay.
It's all right.
Two people can't win.
Two people can't win. Somebody got to win.
Yes.
It's a bully.
Yes.
He's a bully and all that because hip hop was founded in battle rap.
Yes.
Have you heard some of the stuff they say on the stages in New York when they battling?
They
They've been
say.
killing them. Like insulting their whole families, insulting, and they girls were standing right by him. So, you know, we gotta honor what rap was founded in.
And when he dropped his song on Sunday, nobody said anything because the rule of the game is there's no dope on Sunday. You don't do no disses, you don't sell no drugs, you don't do that. So he automatically broke rules.
Broke the rules. Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
It's the Lord's Day. It's the Lord's Day.
Even in hip hop, the Sabbath is observed.
Listen, the Lord's Day is the Lord's Day, I guess. I did not know.
Oh, QP, I gotta get off.
You're supposed to pause.
But
You gotta pause till Monday. Hold that
off.
QP till Monday.
My delivery because it's Sabbath.
What did Jesus do?
What would Jesus do?
When Jesus go deliver the QP.
Oh, he's gonna wait till Monday. He's gonna wait.
That's
You
wild.
gotta wait for 12.
I forgot Jesus
Oh,
collect tithes.
no,
Ooh.
1 o'clock in the morning.
In exchange for
1
the
o'clock,
word.
12:01. That's.
Nice.
I didn't know you can do that on Sundays. That's the new.
But I
You learn something
do
every day.
want to say that I think that more people are voicing their opinions on him being somebody that he's not. You know what I mean? In the lyrics, as opposed to who he really is. So I think that's like the underlying issue and the message across the board, and why people are basically standing up and standing on their opinion of him now. You know, and I think that maybe I don't know if it was like disloyalty or whatever the case it was with him acting out of sorts with people. I think that people are like, hey, you know what? I don't like how you did this. You know what I mean? And as a matter of fact, you know, when you were sleeping with this person,
Right,
you know what I mean?
exactly,
So
yeah.
I think that when you do something and it kind of escalates, people start bringing back, you know, just like how we always say, why you bringing up old shit? You know what I mean? It's like they bringing up everything out of the closet now.
But it's at any workplace. How many coworkers we smile on their face every day but get home and talk mad shit? You can't stand them. And then at work you gotta smile, you gotta be professional. But then if they get fired, man, such and such never works. Such and such, So it's the same in any work environment. You gonna tear down who ain't the popular person anymore.
Preach. Yes.
And I actually liked that about him initially. I liked from when he first came out, I liked that he was an artist that wasn't following like the tough guy road, you know?
Right,
And he was still
right.
successful. And to me, he like fell into that trap. It's like he went right into like, now I'm a tough guy.
Yeah.
When it's like we know, if we know one thing,
You're not
we
tough.
know that you're not tough.
Right.
Right? Everybody kind
Fact.
of agrees on it, right?
Yeah.
So when you do that, it's like so far from who you are as a person. It does feel a little disingenuous, but the music is still good. But
Right.
then along with those type of messages and images, it comes all the other stuff.
But what about like, but I could argue that a lot of people come out tough and ain't tough either.
I know.
I mean, but
know,
that's
you know
just-
what I mean? But what I'm
It's
saying,
all right.
Everybody in rap ain't tough, bro.
Right, but they're not. They don't have
Whoever
to.
said
so
they
you know
tough,
how they say
they're not, bro.
But he had a
He
lane.
had a lane.
He had a lane.
And I feel like he almost dumbed down himself, and I think it's like heartbreak as well, because he had this good image, a good boy image, and as his albums developed, he started to be a dog ass nigga. You know what I mean? And it's like he was going with what the culture was doing with bad hip hop and fast wave hip hop. You know what I mean? And so it's like he changed his whole square that he was on originally. Grandmamas was listening to him, kids was listening to
Hey,
him.
grandmamas. We had a client today. She must. How old was she, G? You remember?
I don't know.
Man, she must have been
She
like.
was very seasoned. Though.
Well, her daughter was early 50s. So you can just imagine how old she was. And she said, man, I listen to all the rap music. She said, man, this Kendrick
Oh, that lady.
got me vibing. Remember her? Man, she was sitting down in the seat. She was, yeah. She said, I know all the lines.
You know
I
what's
said,
funny? I was
goddamn.
cutting her brother's hair, and I was just getting ready to tell Jason, hey, we might have to turn it off because you know it's a little more seasoned.
Right,
As soon as I got ready to say that, yeah, and I was like, I just kept cutting like whatever.
They do all the words, everything. I mean, this lady, look.
Yeah.
Hey,
She appreciate it.
That's more evidence.
It was loud.
Appreciate
He
it.
It
won.
was loud.
He won.
Kendrick won. That mean that's more evidence right there.
Kendrick won.
Okay,
Kendrick
so
won.
my question is, because of what we're saying about his affiliation, right, and who he is, like, what is you guys' opinion on if you can be a rapper in this game and not go to that side, not go to being hard, not go to being like, you know what I mean? Like,
Chance the rappers.
Yeah, if you stay in your lane and you create a lane.
To be honest with you, for me, I think there, in my opinion, it's all an act. So
think it's
for
the
me,
pressure?
I don't care if a dude come out a certain way and try to go this way. I mean, how many artists we see, female artists, for example, they come out very wholesome. 2
Yes.
albums later, they
Yes.
promiscuous
Yeah.
as hell.
Yeah.
And we don't say nothing about, you know, oh, you was a church going, or, you know, look at Beyonce,
Right.
how she was when she
Yeah.
first came out.
Right.
So I feel like we put way too much, like, I think we put too much emphasis on that, like when it comes to what an artist is able to do and not do, as if they not all actors anyway. I'm talking about this dude that's come from the streets of LA, posing as the hardest guy ever and never banged in his life,
Right.
wanted to do the game.
Oh, why'd you say that?
I
You wasn't supposed to say that.
mean, you can
Oh.
cut it out then, but I mean, as it goes, it's viral. I mean, it is what it is. It's
Hey,
clips
but-
going around when, you know.
But I think not to cut you off, right? But I think what all I'm saying is you can say that exists widespread, right? I agree with you. The difference is you gotta expect what comes with that. Like that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you want to say whether or not you are a gangster or promiscuous or whatever image you're portraying, that's what you're presenting. That's your representative.
Yeah.
So then when you attract that energy, I'm saying it's not surprising to you. And you shouldn't be surprised either. That's what you're putting out there. It's going to come right back to you. That's all I'm saying. But I agree with you.
But you're comparing image to talent. This is how can I say this? This last 20, 30 years of hip hop has been a marketing game. When you think of Jay Dillon, when you think of Big L, when you think of MF Doom, they didn't have to do any theatrics. It was just like they came with talent. And then it was just like the fan base followed.
Yeah.
I think they rode this wave of we can create, we can formulate. You have this
I can
machine
make
behind
you.
you who's creating something for us to be entertained and hypnotized by.
Right.
And if we get back to the root of it, it's like, how do these people really sound? Are we grooving? Are the lyrics making sense? I mean, half the music on the radio, I don't even know what they're saying.
I don't either.
It sound like
You know,
they
and-
cloned
and-
Tyrone. It
Right.
started to sound like that. Yeah.
And I think that's what this Kendrick thing was. It was bigger than hip hop. It was like a hard reset. Like for real. It has people waking up. You can put what's happening into any situation. Just because something is in the forefront, whether it's an organization, a relationship, what is done in the dark is going to come to the light.
That's true. Right.
Yes.
Come on now, wake up, people.
Well, let me just, now we're going to segue into some, I think we put that to bed. We're going to discuss
Okay.
that to this evening. This is something that came from the shop today. And this is for the women. It's a two-part question.
Don't.
Do you think women have a hard time apologizing when wrong? And if so, why?
Can you say that again?
Do you think women have a hard time apologizing when wrong in a relationship? And if so, why?
I think so.
No.
I'm
Go
like,
ahead.
I don't know.
Go ahead. We listening.
I mean, yeah, because I think women act on emotion, men act on logic. They're facts, we're emotion. So like we feel things, we feel certain things. So when we act upon it, like we get very, you know, I think that's a big difference between men or women. Like men are just facts, like you did this, you did that. Like women are just, it's what we feel.
So your feelings can't be
wait,
wrong.
So your feelings will make you not be
Say sorry?
acceptable to apology.
Right.
Why?
Because I don't feel like apologizing.
I mean, it's like, because it's, but no, but like,
Thanks, you weren't supposed to
let me-
answer that.
Right.
no, let me explain, because it's like, it's a feeling you can't control. Like when you feel mad, when you feel like that's something that you, like, yes, you can alter and you can like act not mad, but when you feel something, you feel it. So admitting that, and you can't alter that. You can't change that. Does that make sense? No?
No.
Like we act on emotion as
I get what you're
women.
saying.
Hold
A
on.
man.
Dennis.
But you would want him to say sorry, right?
Ooh.
I mean,
Ooh.
But I think a man is
You
more
would.
equipped to say sorry.
Hold on, Lynden. Hold on, Lynden. No.
Let her answer.
Hold on,
Let her answer.
Lynden.
Hold on, Lynden.
Hold on,
Let her
Lynden. You
answer.
say he with your emotion, your passion. He displayed that to you.
right.
And he could have emotion and he can have passion.
Right.
Would you want him to say sorry?
I mean, I guess it would just depend on the circumstances, but
You wouldn't want him to say sorry?
of course, no, of course, but we would all want that, right? Like you would want that just like you.
when you were making, you were not saying excuses. You were kind of delaying why you wouldn't say sorry.
Because you're in the moment of feeling it.
Right. Feel that way.
Right.
Like you said.
Right. It would be hard
It's
too.
like,
It would be
I ain't
hard
sorry
too.
for what I feel.
Time out before.
It would
let me
be hard
finish.
too, but it's possible. Like
Hold on.
it just
Let me
depends on the
finish.
scenario.
Now, normally we are, I know that on most podcasts we're battle of the sexes and stuff like that. But tonight, we're trying to get back to the black R&B music. We're trying to get back to the love. So the idea of, fighting, we're not trying to do it. We're trying to get to understanding with each other. So please,
Healthy
please go
debates.
ahead.
Healthy
I
debates.
think that women and men are very much different. And I think that neither parties really come forward with apologizing off the bat. I'm sorry. I can see men and women.
Is that your experience, or that's what you?
This is not a feeling.
So-
this is an experience.
So it's an personal experience. That's cool.
And
Okay.
observation as
Okay.
well. And like, I had to really do some shadow work because I know off the bat I have that feeling really strong, and I'm just like, I'll beat around the bush, and then it's just like, damn, I did exactly what he said I was gonna do. Like, and I'm like, oh my God. And it's very hard to deal with you being wrong as a woman. It's like you overthink, you have all these feelings, so you have to just
Oh, man.
As soon as she finishes, Dennis, you got
Oh,
it.
man.
As soon as she finished, Dennis, you got it. Go
So
ahead.
and then it's wonderful to have somebody having that teaching moment, because it took after a divorce, you know what I mean, and somebody mature enough to have this conversation with me, like, hey, do you recognize you do that? I didn't even think that women did that, and I was like, damn, we really do. And so I have to work on that. I'm still working on it, but I can identify when I'm hemming and hawing and not, not apologizing immediately and not understanding my wrong.
Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Go ahead. Dennis had it first. Go ahead, Dennis.
It still goes to the fact of why can't y'all say sorry?
To piggyback off of
I mean, she got it to the right point at the end. I can respect that. At the end, I can ride with that. At least you starting to understand that, hey, you know what? Maybe I might slack in other areas and I might need to step up a little bit and say, I can respect that.
Yes.
But we're just not to know that you're batshit wrong.
Well, maybe
It
not.
won't
But
say-
maybe you're not sorry.
About that shit.
Maybe you're not sorry about that.
but okay, but you gotta.
I'm not always sorry about being
But hold
wrong.
on, but you
How you not be sorry about
gotta
being
ride that
wrong?
hill though.
Because it's how I feel.
But you gotta ride that hill. You gotta ride what comes with that.
Right.
Are you
No,
not sorry?
right.
And
Totally.
whatever comes with that.
Of course.
They don't have to look bad.
All right, go ahead, Damien.
Okay, go ahead.
So, my thing is like, there's pride and shame, right? Your pride kind of beefed you up to say, look, I'm standing on my soapbox, I'm gonna tell you about yourself, right? The opposite side of that is the shame, and people don't like to feel shame.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can say for men and how we believe in hierarchies and facts and things like that, we have to take being wrong on the chin a lot of the time and just
Yes,
be like,
we do.
you know what I'm saying? Oh, shit, that's my bad, or oh, shit, I effed up. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of things we got to do to kind of like stay in the game, stay like in the circles where we can either make money or get draws or whatever it is. On the other end, for women, I feel like that shame is kind of like kryptonite for, it goes deeper than just being like a one-off instance or something like that. I don't know if you guys feel like it tarnishes you guys as a empathetic, very emotionally intelligent person.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to shame, that's when y'all just be like, this is some BS, I tap out. What is that about?
I think it's like an innate
Just
thing.
young.
Well, we can
Just young. Just young.
To piggyback on her feelings comment, and I felt that because I'm just being really real. Most of the times you can't apologize for something if you don't think you're wrong. So I think women, in the back of our minds, again, we're going off of feelings. So if we're feeling like you were in the wrong, if we feel like everything I was saying was on point, and my argument is intact, and then you walk away and he's still feeling away, and you're really not in tune with that because you're already in the back of your mind like this is how I feel. So a lot of times when it's an expectation of an apology, there is none to meet you, excuse me, on the other side, because we really don't even feel like we're wrong.
But
It's
there
like,
is a
what
point.
if
But there's a
What if
point
you're
that what
wrong?
you realize when
What
you're
if you're
wrong,
wrong?
and that's what we're
Question.
talking about. It's
Okay.
like when you get to the point to where you know you're wrong.
Yeah, like it's a
Why
valid
can't you?
point.
Now let me back
You know
up.
what
Let
I'm
me back up with.
I completely can. I'm not argumentative. Like when I'm completely wrong, I apologize. Like I'm not going to sit up there and be, ashamed of that. No, like I'm wrong. I'm going to say I'm wrong. We're not going to hem and haw about that. If I completely know it, like I fucked up.
But let's talk about the humanity in this. Most times we're not delegating ourselves in our mind and putting each thing in each compartment and, ooh, let me be analytical and accountable. Most times we piss and it's just like, get out my face. Like,
Now wait a minute. Now I understand.
that comes with
right?
something,
Hold
though.
on. So now if your homegirl was to give you this scenario, right? You'll tell her she's dead wrong, right?
number one, most homegirls, that I'm talking about your girl, and I'm
But you'll tell your girl she's
I want to hear this, Jason. I want to hear this.
Let me just say this. When somebody is your friend and they know you, they're going to be for you. There is, let me just say this. There is a loyalty that I have to my sisters, a loyalty
Sisterhood.
that I have to my friends that even when they're wrong, sometimes it's like right now, I'm just with you. Maybe later on when we in conversation and we on the light note, I can be like, hey man, like we need to evaluate this. But when you think of the closest between two women, especially two women who are loyal to each other, because there's too much petty mess out here in these streets.
Yeah.
If you venting and you mad at him and you hurt, baby, listen, I'm here for you. Forget him. What we gonna do?
I'm cool with
Now,
that.
I understand
But what if
that,
she
right?
was
I got a question.
wrong?
Now, I'm not saying that that's wrong, right?
Immediately.
I'm not saying that
Okay,
that's wrong.
then,
Hold on.
so why you
Hold
want?
on. I'm not saying that that's wrong, right? But right is right, wrong is wrong, right? Now, my partner I've been knowing since I was 5, right? He's going to let me vent and let me cook and get it all out. The one thing he's going to let me know.
You can't do that
We-
shit.
me-
You gotta do that.
Hold on. And then my other best friend, right? Oh, she gonna let me have it.
Yeah.
Right? Now she gonna be there with me and be like, I'm here for you, I love you. But right is right.
Yeah.
Wrong is wrong.
But men can just have major conversations, this barbershop talk. In the morning, and we were just talking, we were like, no, you're wrong. Some people don't even know each other.
Yeah.
As men, sitting around and be like, no, that's
I'll
wrong.
do one better, man. I think if you are around people that don't demand more of you,
You need
and
to
point out
come on.
improvements and
Come
room for
on.
growth, they probably not your real friends.
They not.
Right.
Indeed.
They not. They don't
Right.
want nothing to say. You need a new
I can rock
circle.
with that.
We supposed to be around people and uplift each
Right.
other,
Right.
right? So if somebody just rolling with everything you do, even when they know you dead ass
Right.
wrong,
Yeah,
they
no
doing
questions
right.
They not. They
Right.
do.
Man,
They
pull
doing
each
you a
other aside.
disservice.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good conversations. One thing I appreciate about Damon, Brandy, and Dennis, right? These motherfuckers gonna check me. Oh my
But y'all
God.
still haven't
And
answered
they
the
know I'm
question.
gonna check them
You
back.
should be able to.
I
Right?
haven't answered the question.
So I got a question. If men, you're saying like men apologize, right?
Do y'all?
Versus women.
Hold on.
Are you apologizing for, like, to end things? Are you apologizing? Are you truly
Oh.
apologizing because you're sorry, or you're just like, I'm done with this right now?
All of the
No,
above.
I mean, no, okay. Let
all
me
of
say,
the above.
Okay.
All of the above.
Okay.
For me personally,
Okay.
it just depends on.
Because I could say sorry all day, but it doesn't mean I'm
funny.
sorry.
No, but that's
You
what I'm
know
saying.
what I mean?
But that's like.
Somebody in the chat room actually said, whenever it's a man, whenever I say sorry, this is the response I get. You don't mean it.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
So that
what
part
we
too.
said
You,
too, right?
hey,
Saying it too
I had
soon.
that situation.
Saying it too soon.
Because
No, but
sometimes-
I'm more on your
sometimes you get used to
side.
people
I would
apologizing and they don't
apologize.
mean it,
Listen,
and that's just human
I don't
behavior.
wanna
But you won't know nobody won't mean into it until it's
Apologies are judged.
Right.
until it happens again.
I just think
There's no you can be sorry if it happens again.
It comes with growth. Yes,
Because number
exactly.
one, there's no way that I'm at where I am right now. I'm going to stand 10 toes down on being wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I know that I'm wrong,
Right. Yeah.
That's standing on business. Are you right? My bad.
Hey,
It comes with age.
yes, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I do remember the times when, because I felt so strongly about something, and because I felt like, in my mind, you did do that. You meant to do this. And, you know what I mean? Like because we have like a preconceived almost idea of how somebody else feels. But then I learned in growth, the growth factor, you know what I mean? You can't even tell somebody how they feel. You know what I mean?
Don't
Even if you're
don't
feeling,
discount.
even if you're
Yes.
feeling it,
So that's
you
fine.
have to
Yeah.
talk, and
Yeah.
sometimes you do have to like step away from the situation, and it may be hours, days, or whatever,
Yeah.
and you have to go back to yourself. You have to go back to the person or whatever and talk about it, because sometimes, or a lot of times, when you're talking, you have to explain what you mean if you didn't mean it in that way. You know what I mean?
So, and that's why, like in therapy, they always say, you say, I felt.
Yeah.
So you're not like, you did this. No, this is how I felt. Yeah. Now, how you receive that is up to me of how I respond to it. But I feel like I'm more so like on the guy's side with the apologizing. I'm probably going to apologize so we can be done with this. Because I don't like to argue. I don't get mad. I'm not doing that back and forth. So, like, I'm not going to try to force my opinion on you.
But where's the lesson in the situation? Because now you just apologizing for it.
This is what, like she was saying with growth. That's what I'm saying. I used to just apologize because we're getting over it. But growth, it's like now I can say, you know what? This is how you made me feel.
Right.
And then, like, yeah, we can have this dialogue, back and forth conversation of how you made me feel, and I can hear you, but really listen to hear what you're saying, and like instead of listening to respond. Because if we're just listening to respond, we're never going to get to the resolution of who was really apologizing.
Keep going, y'all. Keep going.
Yeah.
Most people who haven't gotten there though, the apology isn't necessarily about just ending the argument. It's a bridge to something else. Some men apologize because they just want to have sex and they're tired of you holding out. They're tired of you.
Okay.
That's
He said all the above. He said all the above over there. And it's like you apologize for these reasons. Yeah.
Wait a minute, but did she just throw us under the bus real quick?
No, but it's the same with women. It's just like, I need you to help me with something.
So like apologize so you can get on what I need.
It's not just the man angle I'm going for.
Okay, so
are you saying men are out there apologizing to get asked?
No,
what?
I'm saying most people.
Sometimes is what you said.
Do y'all think that men have a hard time apologizing?
Yes.
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Wow.
Certain ones with growth, like you said, it depends.
I just mean in general. I'm not talking like, the bulk of the day.
I feel like this.
50-50.
I feel like sometimes there's an explanation for a lot of stuff. And I feel like you just ask the person, so why are you apologizing? Let's get off of the words, I apologize, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What are you apologizing for?
Yeah.
What are you apologizing for?
Oh yeah, I've had plenty of arguments about apologies before. But I feel like right now, like since we asked the question, there's been kind of like this systematic devaluing of apologizing going around this circle. So
because people throw it out there like it's not a big deal.
Yeah. So I mean, do you guys feel like if you end up apologizing, are you losing the argument? Are you taking an L in that sense?
You're taking accountability. That's very hard.
I don't even look at it as taking like an L.
But you're supposed to
take accountability.
Learn. Accountability and learn from it and grow.
But that's not easy to do. It's not like if it was
a choice.
If it was that easy, then everybody would walk around like we wouldn't have
to age.
It's a choice.
That comes with age and work.
Right.
Did you do something that's
perfect? You choosing not to.
Yeah, but I mean, that applies to everything in the world, though.
But you're choosing not to.
Dealing with them.
I mean, yes, technically, yes.
Shame, like what you said earlier. Women have a harder time because of being what I was taught, the weaker vessel, and I was raised biblically, so that's where I'm coming from. So if you're the weaker person, in a sense, first. I'm supposed to assign honor to you, then you're not going to be more prepared to deal with shame the way I can. I'm the man. I should be able to deal with anything on the chin. I should be expected. It's expected for me to be able to. I got to lead by example anyway, so if I'm wrong, I should be quicker to apologize than you ever would. But it's understandable why the woman takes longer. In my experience, it may take a little roundabout time to get to it, or you may not get it. You might get changed behavior. I've experienced it in all kind of different ways, but I think it comes down to shame. And I think women have a harder time looking bad, period. So if I look like the bad person in any shape, way, or form, like on all levels, physically, you don't want to leave the house looking bad. You don't want to look like the wrong person in this argument right now. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
so
I agree with you, Lynden, right? Now, in the sense of, biblically, the man's supposed to take more on the chin and everything, but in a worldly sense, women, we feel that we're all equal, right?
No.
But we're not.
Why time out? Women feel like we're all equal, right?
No.
We show,
No.
time out. Now we're not
Jason, no.
I've never said that.
Never.
Y'all ever
It's the
equal?
reason why
Never.
I'm stronger than her physically.
It's not even about
There's
that.
a reason for that.
It's not even about that. They don't walk the same walk we do.
You know what? I just feel like this. One thing that I know for sure is that you have to have grace in your partnership.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like this. It's too much of like the tally board where you're like,
Yes.
me,
Yes, yes.
check,
Right.
Yes.
You,
zero.
zero.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no.
So I think that if we get away from that and we're just really trying to solve the issue and be solution oriented, then I feel like it will basically take that shame away, because if you can't be with somebody who you can't be vulnerable with
There we go.
and be humbled by,
Right, right.
because life will humble us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
eating. Life will definitely humble us.
Are you
If you're
listening,
not with
Brandy?
that person who can
Are we listening?
basically,
Are you listening, Brandy?
basically like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, you
don't really like them like you.
listen, it should be somebody who can basically like
don't like 'em like
cradle you in your need, okay? And that's what I think that should be the thing that makes us stronger with the other person, because they should be pouring into you that vessel
Right.
on your deficits. You know what I
And
mean?
see, that's what and when I said earlier, assigning
attacking
honor.
them.
If I see you having a hard time with being the wrong one right now, I'm supposed to draw it out of you and somehow praise you in that light.
No.
No,
Wow.
no. I'm not saying
Because-
that. I'm just saying simply this. You hurt me by this.
Right.
I was hurt. You made me feel this way. Can we talk about this? Or, listen, I understand that you felt strongly about this, because that's what it all is. When we feel strongly
It's
about
about,
something,
yeah.
it's no change in our minds. You know what I mean?
And what should I
But
say?
do you think that we can go back to this and we can think about it a little more or whatever, so we can solve this issue?
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is
But
still in my
everybody
mind.
ain't doing it like that.
But it's growth.
We wouldn't have had this
talked about
conversation
it's
if it was
growth.
like that all the time.
But
though.
it's growth, it's age, and then she said, like, who's checking you and who's bringing it to your awareness.
think it's
So
just pressure
in
from
your 20s,
society,
like,
like-
no, you're
I-
not. But as you get older and you live life and
That's
you
true.
in the real world and you
Pressure
know,
from
like,
society,
what you
like,
might do
women
at
are
home
supposed
ain't
to
gonna work
be
at this
now-
corporate office.
Also-
You figure it out.
But also,
I
Yeah,
never
it's
said I
growth.
wanted to work
but also
full-time.
we're carrying on childhood
Exactly.
trauma.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
people's telling us
Yes.
we're following people that we think that we should be following,
Right.
but don't know when they go home that shit is fucked up.
Yeah.
And there's no say. Nobody's healed. Nobody's really sat there and took the work to do anything. Nobody taught nobody how to communicate. I thought every man that ever knew was a good dude, and was cheating. I had no good examples until you got to fall in your face and start taking accountability and look at yourself in the mirror like, hey, you know what? I might be doing shit fucked up. And then create a good circle around you. They say, hey, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
You know what? I feel like this. I'm a crybaby, and I had to get over those things because I just felt like, because of my whatever, I didn't know how to have those conversations. It's just personal talk, personal experience, okay? But sometimes you don't know how to have those conversations, right? So then when you have the conversation, I'm just such a crybaby. I'm crying, and it's like, well, what are you crying for? We haven't even talked about anything.
because we're emotional human beings.
Right,
That's
so I feel like
normal.
on the surface, sometimes we're all already in our minds about certain things, and we're like, oh, thinking this or whatever. Just because somebody says, can we talk, doesn't mean
It's a bad thing.
it's a bad thing. Just because somebody criticized you on something or whatever, they didn't like this, doesn't mean that they believe this. And it's like, I feel like when you have those conversations, and that's why anger is so superficial, because it'll make you
Listen,
feel and do all
listen.
types of things. But when you can take that anger out of it and just talk and say, we're just gonna have this conversation. I'm not angry, but this is what made me angry the other day. I think that makes it like way easier, because sometimes like, oh my God, you think I'm terrible, and it's like, sorry.
Yeah,
No,
but
you're good. No, you're good.
No, I
just
want
said
to
something
speak on that when you said the anger. Like,
it's good.
I was in my 20s, and I remember I was mad at my boyfriend. I had my arms crossed, and I remember his dad came downstairs, and he said, being mad is just a feeling. You'll get over it.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, I don't get mad. I'll just be like, okay. But I'm not getting mad. Like, when I've seen people yell and scream, and if you want me to stop listening, start yelling, because now you sound like Charlie Brown. So when you're ready to use your inside voice, then we can talk. So the whole arguing or getting mad, and like, I'm not even feel like I'm participating in that, because I don't receive that.
Yeah.
So that's not what I was like. I get, like you said, childhood trauma, but we got to address that. But hollering at me is not the way you're gonna
But
get
we
it.
should
But
also create-
I don't get upset though. I just be like, okay,
Yeah,
but I want
because
to
you-
talk and I want to
because you
hear.
want the other person to be quiet. That's why, and you're not resolving anything.
Yes.
But we also should be able to create better communication habits. Now, if you and your person have trouble communicating, they have like notes in your phone.
Yeah.
You guys can share notes.
Yeah, I've done that.
So,
I
so it's like,
wrote
yeah,
it
like,
down.
so if I feel some type of way, like this morning, hey, last night you made me feel like this. That's my
That
bad.
got me in trouble. That got me in trouble.
But also,
That's my bad.
That got me in trouble.
That's
you
my
can't
bad.
interpret how they're gonna
That's
receive
my
it. 'Cause
bad.
They might read it wrong. You be like,
Exactly.
that's not the tone,
That's
and then
what
you gotta
I'm saying.
explain it.
I was
Yeah.
literally like, I delivered it like this so it wouldn't be an argument.
Right,
I want
and
you
now
to be
you
able to
wanna
like
argue 'cause you
read
think
it
I
in
was
your own
yelling.
time, in your own space, be able to digest it.
You guys
and I
go
was
right
in
back and forth
trouble.
with each other.
But I'm saying that's not on our list
But
of
yeah,
ways to
a
do
lot
those
of women
things.
don't appreciate the written sentiments, but like to me, I do understand your point because it's almost like that's a safe veil.
Yeah.
It's almost like a neutral zone.
It's like a box. I put my
You know
put my
what I
paper
mean?
in.
So you
Put
don't
your
have
paper
to
in.
be face to face and start it up again. So I actually appreciate the written sentiments opposed to having to hash it all out because it's like, okay, your thoughts are words. And if you can comprehend, if you are, if you are, you know, if you don't
You
suffer
receive
with
it.
comprehension,
Right.
then you'll be able to receive it.
What if they write you
can't
back
receive
in
it.
all caps?
All right.
Oh, now you're yelling. Now you're yelling. Now you're yelling, and we got to talk about it for real.
We got another segue. This came up in the shop today. I'm gonna ask the ladies this: do y'all feel that men don't pay attention? And this is not necessarily in particular to a relationship, in a relationship, and also in general. Do you feel like it's something with our attention span, our bandwidth?
Yes.
I think
Oh,
Yes,
it depends,
all of the
because
above.
I feel like my
cooked.
dude,
We are
he's-
cooked.
He's very observant, but I've known people that are not like that. You know what I mean? Like he has the eyes behind his head. You know, he knows me. You know, and that's important.
So, but you do feel across the board, like you would say, men don't pay attention enough.
Pay
Or no?
attention to what?
They-
Like she said,
yeah,
the little
they
things, or pay attention to
They
what?
want to. They
So
pay
let's-
attention to what
See,
they
that's
want
what I
to.
was saying, but we got examples like you tell us to go. This is just an example that came up. Like,
The grocery
can
store.
you go grab?
Yeah.
Can you go grab my brush?
You ain't
out the
listening.
middle
Yeah.
console in my car?
Okay, yeah.
And I'm not gonna get it probably 9 times out of 10.
No.
But 9 times out of 10, it's not in your console.
It was like in the back on the side seat
No
or
offense,
something.
this was
I'm
not a
only
valid
looking
conversation this
in the
morning.
console.
It wasn't because it helped no better.
It's valid. We discussed it for
It
like
is
an hour.
Man. Look,
Well, if it's not their wheelhouse, they may not know. You know what I mean? If they're not in the kitchen with you, they don't know what type of seasonings, the certain brand.
I don't even know where the brush goes.
Yeah, so
Hey man, what type of men y'all be dating?
that's what I was asking this
What
morning.
you
Like,
mean?
what are you?
What do you mean?
No, I'm
Listen,
saying like,
you go in the
So
bathroom
this is
every
the
Saturday
example. If
morning
you-
with the mop water and opening the drawers and wiping all the hair out and to where you know everything is stuck in the shelves and
The
like
energy
you
this,
You know
the
everything
energy this
that's in the
morning was
pantry?
men don't listen. And I totally disagree with that.
okay.
I think I don't know. My dad don't listen. My mom said he selective listen. He listen when they want
Of
to.
course we- everybody selectively
Selective listen. I
Everybody
think it varies. I think it varies. Listening and paying attention is two different things. So you're like, are you observing or paying attention? But like you said, listening, like a man is very like, you say go get it over there. That's where he's going. We were like, why you didn't look in the back? Because you didn't tell him to look in the back.
Exactly.
So it's not a not listening. You got to know your audience.
Brandy's on our side. Yo, Brandy.
I'll give you an example, right? I was sent to CVS to go get clear Band-Aids, but that's not what I was told.
Oh, what you was told?
I was told get invisible Band-Aids.
Oh.
So I went, looked for invisible Band-Aids and didn't find them.
No, you supposed to know.
So when I got to the
They
house,
used
it
to
was
say
like,
invisible though. They used to say invisible. I think they used to say invisible. Now they say clear.
no, liquid, not clear.
Man.
Liquid
She
white
needed
Band-Aid.
liquid.
The problem is like
that was the communication.
y'all
Yeah, that was.
I should say
Yeah.
the ladies, you guys have a larger vocabulary. Y'all see more colors. Y'all know more emotions, things like that. So, with our rudimentary, almost caveman type style, when y'all say one thing, it can mean a multitude of things, and we don't pick up on that. So,
We assume,
As
we
a-
assume that you know
Communication
what
and
we're
be clear.
as a
It's
man
specific.
though, I'm gonna take that on the chin.
Okay.
I'm sorry
But I'll say
for letting
this.
y'all down.
But after a while, you get better. You know, we're not saying that you guys suck at that.
Half the
You
time,
know.
no.
Hey, can I say
All I'm
something?
saying is meet me in the middle.
What's wrong
Say
with
what
saying,
you mean.
what's wrong with saying
I have to be very
I don't know what the
detail-oriented.
band-aids are called? What's wrong with saying I don't know where my brush is?
Exactly.
If you tell me one place to look and you tell me what to look for, that doesn't mean to do all these extra things. You ask me to do something
So I should
specific.
say my brush. It
I
should
don't know
be.
where it's
It
at.
should be in the
I
console,
don't
but if
know.
it's not,
Can
like
you
it
just
might
check?
be somewhere else.
Yeah,
Meet us in the middle.
Yes.
Yes.
In the car.
Yeah,
Can
but I
you check all
It's
that?
somewhere in the car.
I just feel like
Maybe
that-
the blanket.
That's
You
just
might not even be
obvious
in
to
there.
not
Oh
just
God. Oh
Like,
God.
that's what
But
we're
that's
saying.
But it's
photographic memory,
not
so I can
not
tell you
obvious to
exactly
us.
But
what-
like if you
think
tell me
no,
to go
right
look for
there.
something and I don't find it in that place,
Hey, look.
I'm gonna assume that it has to be in the
No,
near
they're not
area.
saying it, but I can argue that what they expect you, if it ain't where you say to that, you still supposed to be able to figure that out.
Nah,
So look
listen.
around.
Yeah,
Look
like
extra.
we're, I mean,
After a while, you will though.
Like if I tell you it's in the garage and it ain't in there,
So
you
I'm
still
looking all
supposed to go
out.
look somewhere else. If it's maybe it's outside the garage.
Now I'm on the tour.
Or why
mission.
I mean,
or
in
why
the
you can't
area.
No, I'm just saying.
You on a mission and it's in her purse. It's in her purse.
well, that communication call, like it's not
Yeah,
here.
come
You think it's in the
on,
back
man.
seat?
That's
I'm
how-
gonna
I
look in the
was
back
just about to say,
seat.
it doesn't have
Well,
to
that's
be
why
a
she
desk.
said it's in the car somewhere.
Right. It
Right.
doesn't have
But
to
if we
be-
come back and say,
Like, you know what I
hey,
mean.
we didn't see it in the middle console,
But it also depends
and
on
then are we wrong for not finding it where y'all saying? Where y'all saying?
No, no, you're not wrong.
It depends on your temperament with the person. Like I know some men that will go back to that car 7, 8 times in order to bring her that brush because
'Cause
she
he don't
need
wanna
that
hear
brush.
about
it. See that?
There's also men
He
that
don't
will
wanna
only
hear
go
about
there once and get
He don't want to hear
pissed.
about.
That's
It'll be
I
fun.
find it. I feel like a lot of times it is the communication. It's like, okay, you said this, it's not this.
Right.
What is it?
What is it?
That's it.
So
What is it? That's the
But,
thing.
if you,
Like,
but
yeah.
my thing is, I think the clearer point is sometimes you give details that you're not sure of, and it's wrong information, and then when we follow that information, we not listening.
You get you
see
see
what I'm
you see
saying?
down
It's
a rabbit
bad
hole.
info to begin with.
Man, it's like
The
they
truth
go to-
is, in those situations, you don't know where the hell this thing is.
I try not to give bad information.
No, but I'm just saying it could be just that. You could be telling me to do something that maybe like you don't know. Like if Jay says, "Hey G, go in my trunk. It's an orange shoebox right behind the speaker box. It's on the right hand side. It's right there."
Thank you, G. Because I was about to say, like, you know, I think that women communicate with, you know, with women differently, you know, than we can pick up on it, then we can understand it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've observed women how they can like break conversation and, you know, dip in different lanes and be able to come back without skipping a beat. Dudes ain't like that. You know what I'm
Not at all.
saying? We can't
About-
do that.
about.
We gotta look at what are you talking about right now?
Exactly.
We like, time out.
Time out. Exactly.
What are you saying?
Yeah. So you know we're trying to listen, but we get tripped up. We get tripped up because we're not as sophisticated as y'all.
For sure. And I think that goes back to like, you know, just communicating that. And it's up to us to sometimes say, hey, look, if you tell me look somewhere, this is what I'm gonna do. But if you don't, do you know where it's at? Or like you said, call and be like, hey, it's not here. Is there anywhere else you want me to look? That's how we can be on our end to like, you know, smooth that over too.
I have a question.
Yeah.
As men, you guys have referenced this several times. Why do you have to take everything to the chin? Why can't you have those times where you do put your shoulders down and you are, you don't have to have the world on your shoulders. Like, it isn't your home or when you're with your woman supposed to be your safe place?
Majority of the time,
It's not.
no, absolutely not.
It's not.
No.
Why?
If you're not in a
Why?
Yeah, like you want to like
Because I'm sorry.
That's
most
true, too.
women.
Most women do not let you be in that space.
Okay.
And even if they let you in that space later on,
gonna
you
bring it
pay
up.
for it dearly.
Because she
So
brings
you
it
might
back
as well
up.
just-
I don't.
Does
I
she
don't,
bring
I
it
don't
back
agree
up?
with that much.
But does
Oh, I
she?
do.
She brings it back up, like
Yes.
pointing out, like, oh, you. Oh.
Yes. So you might
I
as
think
well
it's
just don't
used
say
as a
anything at all.
weakness, just altogether. Like a man that's having a bad day at work, like for instance, if you break down crying, for instance, right, at your job, and you say, I just need a moment, bro, I'm having a rough day today, bro, they not gonna take it the same way and with the same understanding as if one of y'all were to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I
It's more-
disagree.
I disagree.
Nah,
Especially a black
I'm
woman.
telling-
I had
no.
a coworker break down in a meeting, and it's been like discussed, like, oh, y'all need to figure out what's going on. Like,
But what
yeah.
I'm saying,
And I feel what you're saying, but
what
you
I'm
work
saying is this,
in
it's
a
more- it's more
corporate
in your-
situation.
It's more in your nature for us to understand, hey, you can go there and we don't automatically look at you as like, you can't do your job.
I don't know. Depends on the setting.
No, I get it in corporate, like you can have in that position, but I'm saying as a man, we look at each other like, what's wrong with this?
You're saying men will look at you like in that setting,
Right.
not like a one. Okay.
Everybody will.
Right. In certain settings,
saying-
a crying man is like less of a man.
Like
Certain settings.
a lot of times women say, okay, you want a man to be expressive and share and be emotional and vulnerable, right? But at the wrong time, you might look at that as a weakness too. You like, man,
What is you crying for? No.
Yeah, like you gotta think about this. It's times where if a man gets emotional and does those things, you will look at him as like, all right, I hope this is just a moment and this is not who you are.
But that's not the person you should be with
See
anyway.
what I'm
though.
saying? No, but I'm just going to your point of like, why do you do that? It's like you have to be. That's just in everything we see from the time we kids playing with toys, growing up. You gotta be tough.
Oh, for sure.
When you fall, what they tell you, they don't tell you, oh, you hurt you, get up.
For sure.
The narrative of the
But not
of how
everybody.
people
I
that
feel
want
like-
toxic
Not
masculinity.
everybody get raised like. But it only falls
So
to
listen.
a toxic audience if it's not a commonality. Like if you're somebody who saw your father get emotional, because for me, I saw a lot of men cry because I went to church. So there was a lot of men that were holy. There were
That's
a lot
okay in
of
church.
men that there were a lot of men that got the Holy Spirit, that got saved, that connected with their families in church. So if it's something that you see, whatever the setting, church, wherever, then when it happens, it's not so much like, oh, I'm taken aback because I mean I'm not used to this. Of course you're not used to it because it hasn't been something that you've seen often. So if you see it often, then it won't be so awkward. I mean, just like, okay, I hate to swing the pendulum, but it's like, okay, we all saw crackheads in the 80s and the 90s. They were fully clothed. These new drugs, I'm not used to. I live in Texas. I'm visiting my family, and it's like there's a lot of homeless, but the way that these homeless are, and the way that they're exposed, and the way that they're, it's like violence and different things that I grew up in Compton, but coming back from the country, it's like, oh my God, I'm not used to this. I'm like. This is touchy, so it's like it's even with that. Like if you don't see something all the time and you're not exposed to it, then it's gonna come as a shock. But if you are constantly, people are so insensitive. I was riding with my sister, and we saw somebody just bare chested,
can I ask you a
and it's like
question?
she like, oh girl, I didn't even see. And I'm like, you didn't see that woman with her tits out?
Have you heard this phrase? That boy soft. He needs to soften up.
I've heard that phrase. I've heard that phrase in reference to
Have any of y'all ever heard it?
he's
I mean,
homosexual.
not-
Kind of soft? Are you acting soft? Or
But
I mean,
haven't
we heard
a man
people
is
say it.
described
But
as-
what I would say,
All I'm saying, a man is described as soft if you don't exhibit those qualities, taking on the chin.
But I haven't
But-
heard a man. It's not common for me to hear a man saying that because he's soft. They say that because they think you.
No, see,
That's
that's
why.
something else. That's something else. Soft is like Anthony Davis. They say he's soft. Because he's not raw. He, every time he falls, he grabs his knee and rolls around and then gets up and then they want him to jump back up, run in place. I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think that society-wise, men are more concerned about what their peers think than?
Oh,
absolutely.
For sure. That's
In terms of toughness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
I think yeah.
Yeah, you
In
can't,
terms of
you
you
can't
being,
be that
you,
guy.
yeah, you
I mean,
can't
gotta
be
keep
that
it
guy.
real. You can't be that guy.
Yeah.
That's just how it is out here. And we put a lot of that on ourselves and each other. Totally. I
I
agree
just
with
have to
that.
have a meeting.
But like, yeah, that's how it is. Like, for sure. It's like the week end up where the weekend.
What about tears of joy?
That's different.
It's all.
That's different.
It's all understandable, and I
Yeah.
think it's a maturity thing. Like, we are not gonna judge each other like that. You know what I'm saying? If you have a moment, if I have a moment, nobody's gonna look at me and be like, "Oh, G soft or Lynden soft." You know what I'm saying? But we are friends first of all, and also on top of that, we have a maturity level. So we are talking about the bulk of the society. They look at that, they say those things, but it is ignorance at the end of the day because we should be emotionally intelligent. We should be able to do all those things.
Right.
That's healthy.
All right.
That's our time. Yeah, moving on. We got time for one more time.
yeah, something is blowing.
What we want to
cold
do?
as
Chivalry is dead, or is
Oh,
what are some dating or dating?
Chivalry is dead.
Chivalry is dead.
Yeah, it's chivalry dead.
I don't know. It
I
ain't
think
dead
so.
where I am.
Yeah, it's not dead where I'm at.
It's not dead.
No,
I think it's out of style.
It's out of style.
It's out of style.
It's not what they're promoting.
Yeah,
they're not like saying,
That's not what you see.
It's
yeah.
like, I feel like, all right, as a man, and y'all can attest to this, when you coming up and you are trying to find prospects, you look around and see what's working.
Yep.
What's working? What's the vibe out here? What's attracting them?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, if you look up, what's attracting them is some bullshit a lot of times when you're younger. So as you go up, it's not till you become damn near a grown-ass man that you realize, hey, it's okay to be in my lane, and I'm going to get maybe a different type, maybe a different number, maybe a different group.
Yep.
But that's okay.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
If I can be funny, make them comfortable, and make them feel like a lady, I'm in there. I'm good.
But
You know what
actually,
I'm saying?
people are losing that way. You can say that. How can I say this? You can say that there's you're studying, you're seeing this. And it might be the car, it might be the swag, it might be, like a money type of situation. But where does that get them? It always ends up blowing up in their face because look who they attract.
Do y'all feel that pressure when y'all was younger? Like, were you looking to see what girls were getting the guys' attention?
No.
So,
Not a follower.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I just
wasn't.
mean, period. Like, nothing, like, from makeup to hairstyles to, it's just like, you your own person.
I've always been my own person.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I've always just rocked my lane.
They born with what, I'm saying? They born with what they need.
I think for guys, because we trying to outwardly appear to be something.
It's the
that
ego when
you
you're
can
competing with
attract
something.
attention.
Yeah.
It's like, what's working? Yeah, I think that might be different.
Yeah, we gotta grow up and become valuable.
Chivalry
Yeah.
is
So we have to
is in
learn.
there. It's
Yeah.
not so that's my point to go full circle. That chivalry is in that pot of things that are like less valued right now.
Yes.
So it's out of style.
Yes.
But it's appreciated by some
Right,
people too.
right.
You know what I
Because
mean?
it's the little
And
things.
it's more
Like,
valuable.
I don't need the flash and the money. Because my thing is, who are you without any of that? That's who I want to know. So, like, if you're like, I'm not the one to try to impress with your Balenciaga. I probably don't even know what this shoe is because that's not even what I look at. I like nice things, but if that is what you have, if you come with that, then that for me is a turnoff because like that's your gimmick. But who are you if you lost all that today?
Right.
That's who I want to know.
So
it's the little things for me.
So
I'd rather you
chivalry
come
is
on
not
my.
part of the Riz at all.
You said what?
Nowadays, chivalry is not part of Riz. Hey, I learned that from the kids.
What is Riz?
Shout out to Riz Master Supreme.
What is
What
is
the
Riz,
men who
child?
are going out here on that flashy materialism, why don't they realize that chivalry is like a beacon for gifts from us? Chivalry makes us unlock
Because there's no
something
return.
inside of us that makes us want to give you a massage.
Yes,
Makes us
yes,
want to
yes,
do
yes.
more
Makes you want to love
for
on
you.
you more.
And that's what's missing, I think. How can I say this? What's missing a lot in our culture is the adoration of the woman. I mean, these men used to worship the ground that we walk on. It wasn't about sex. It was like, look at her in them pants. Look at the legs. Look at the, so a lot of times it's like they don't realize that if you put that out there, you make
Was
us
it
feel
adornment or
comfortable.
sexual harassment? Like,
Oh wait, hold on, Shima, wait.
No,
That's harassment.
That for next time.
But what I'm speaking of is just general courtship. I mean, he talked about materialism and she touched on it a little bit. What I'm talking about is in this courtship, you're literally like making me feel like I am
That's it. Like,
ocean.
yeah, Beyonce can walk down and think about me.
To be
Yeah.
honest with you, I think it goes both ways. I think men definitely do not admire women the way we used to.
Nope.
Okay.
Sex is very accessible, it's easy. So it's no
Giving it away.
There's no honor and value with it really no more.
But
And I also
depends
think
on the person.
and I think women don't appreciate a true masculine man, and like what we used to bring to the table is not. No one cares anymore.
No one.
Like a man being able to change your tire or
Wash your
paint your
dishes,
house,
take your trash out.
take care of your yard.
Yeah,
That's
get your
what I
car,
want.
All
get
the
your oil,
different
all
things
that.
that
I don't
y'all
wanna call
don't
task
wanna
on
do.
it.
tired of doing my own
You're
shit.
talking about a different
I'm tired
type
of
of
changing my
person
tire.
and people. You're not
Okay.
talking about good ass women and men and wholesome people finding one another.
Right.
Talking about the hood rat
Right.
peers and what
The
you see on
Instagram
IG,
models.
on Instagram.
The Instagram
That's
thoughts.
unrealistic. Although people talk about it all the time, that's what's really not going on. And we have to really stop that. Just because it's in front of our face
No,
don't mean people
I
don't want
agree
that.
that no, that's not everyone, but I do feel like the vast majority of the dating pool is. I mean, the thing is, how can we tell the difference? You either are a hoe or behaving like one. A man is either a
you're right,
simp or
right.
behaving like one. I can't tell the difference. So
Okay,
from
look.
the outside looking
Real
in,
quick.
it's all people. It's men and women. You know what I'm saying? On the surface, what it looks like is we don't appreciate what we used to bring to the table for one another.
I just
agree.
want to say real quick that is our time right now. I want to thank all y'all for being part of the ABE podcast too. After dark. Yes, please do. I'm ready.
Whoever wants to say it.
Shoot 'em out.
Social media, I know you have a book if you want to promote it. No.
We don't need to promote the book. Not the book.
Why not?
Because that's not my own book. That's a mixed book. But
We at the LA County Fair tomorrow.
Whoop, whoop.
all right.
Oh, that's what's up.
99 Cocoa Black on
Oh.
Black. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Anybody want to shout out? Thank y'all.
Thank you.